Hello and welcome to your daily dose of Satoshi's news. Today's day is Sunday, the 18th of May, 2025. The year BSV comes alive. Branch your threads, expand your mind with treechat.ai or your post put on chain. But let's have a look. Oh, it's going to be a juicy one today. You've got a post here by CSW, another post here by CSW, a comment on that post by Kurt Wattock Jr., another post by CSW. Just going to go over some of these scammers, some 365 days of Bitcoin history, and then that will be the end of the show. Right, let's get into it.
Greg says he's Satoshi, like a cowboy in the West, riding on the blockchain that they call the very best. 1 million strong, and transactions flying free. Just wait for the Terra node, you'll surely see.
Here we go. Right, this is some epic posts here from CSW today. So literally it's just going to be a whole show on this. So check this out. Read into this what you like. We might discuss it as we're going along. So he says here, the smart ones are getting out now. And the smart ones are getting out. Getting out of what? Getting out of BTC? Sounds like it to me. He said, not next halving, not in 5 years. Now. And we know that CSW's got slightly different time frames, but it's kind of like better safe than sorry, I think is what he's saying. You know, the smart people are actually already out now because they've realized, you know, those who haven't won't. And he said now, because they see what the zealots can't. The music's slowing, the lights are flickering, and the great mechanical beast that is BTC is wheezing into its terminal phase. This isn't just about market cycles, it's about mathematics. It's about what happens when a system designed to simulate scarcity starts revealing that the real scarcity is in utility, not coins. So that's an interesting point there, because the utility is what generates coins. Like the block reward needs to transition into the block fee, which is coins, not value go up. It's literally just the number of coins, and the number of coins is generated by utility, and it's coins that miners need in order to continually cover their operational running costs. He knows that, we know that, the deep state know that, but all the mom and pop investors and people like Michael Saylor, not clear, I'm afraid. So he continues, he said, from 2020 to 2025, we went from just under 10k to brushing 60k, a mere 6x compared to the 36x between 2015 and 2020. And no, that isn't exponential. It's the classic flattening of a logistic curve, the kind you find in population biology and speculative hysteria alike. There's a rush, a frenzy, a plateau, and then the inevitable taper. Sometimes the line just sags, other times it breaks. So I would suggest from that, when he says, it was a mere 6x compared to the 36x between 2015 and 2020, is that really, if Bitcoin had genuine utility, the line would be exponential. Literally exponential. And he's talking about 10k, 60k. I've explained many times the true value of Bitcoin, which is all the world's markets, measured in fiat currency, combined, total together, and then divided by the supply of 21 million coins. That gives you a rough estimate. So what you need to do is go out and find what the total is of all the world's markets measured in fiat currency, because they have to take on a real world value, because fiat currency is a unit measurement of value without any value backing it. That's how you work it out. So he continues, and no, that isn't exponential. It's the classic value. We've just done that bit. I take from this that he's expecting, and what should have been, an exponential ongoing curve until it takes 50% of its potential market, which then it would sort of like slightly diminish. But $100,000 per coin is nothing compared to the true value of Bitcoin. So he says by 2035, even if the price holds steady, a charitable assumption, so he doesn't expect it to hold that, at best, it becomes an anchor, not a sail. Because here's the problem. Miners aren't paid in hope. They're paid in coins. Exactly like I just said. Paid in coins, not in value. They are paid in coins. They need a constant churn of coins. They need a constant supply of coins coming in to cover their running costs. And coins are not value. Coins carry value, but they need the coins coming in, not just simply the number to go up of the coins that they're holding. And every halving cuts their income in half. If price doesn't compensate, profitability dies. And when profitability dies, so do the miners. And when miners die, so does security. And when security dies, the rot becomes visible to everybody. And this is precisely what the deep state want. But they just don't want people to see it just yet. And then they're going to try and place the finger of blame on someone else. That's because that's what they do. Plausible deniability. So he continues, sure, maybe it limps along. He's talking about the price of BTC there. Maybe it flatlines. Maybe the cult convinces itself that it's just a valley before the next moonshot. But here's what they never say. Even if the price doesn't crash, the return profile already has. What once returned fortunes now barely scratches an effing savings account. No sane investor waits 10 years to break even while transaction fees chew up the difference. And no one wants to be the last idiot standing in a system that can't process more than 4 transactions per second. Yeah. You don't need to kill BTC. It kills itself. Absolutely, because it's an economic model that they have purposely destroyed. Slowly, predictably, with every halving. Each time it happens, the fantasy gets harder to sell. Fewer people buy in. Fewer miners stay on. And eventually, everyone realizes that what some of us have always known, when the growth stops, the exit begins. The ones with brains are leaving now. The rest will follow, just later and poorer. So no, I don't need to rush. I don't need to do something. It's already happening. I don't care if it crashes in 2026. So he says, I don't care if it crashes in 2026. Because it might well do. The rot. Well, again, everything will be stimulated by economic incentive. And economic incentive increases change like on steroids, is what it does. So I don't care if it crashes in 2026 or crawls until 2035 because the end's already coded. They don't want to admit it. The halving doesn't save it. It exposes it. And the smart ones, those not married to delusion, are already gone. What's left is the noise of the desperate and the dumb pretending that holding a deflating balloon is the same as flying. He certainly has a way of putting things metaphorically. Absolutely. So personally, what I'm sort of like getting from that is that we are close. We are real close. Obviously, CSW has got a different timeline, but I think he's trying not to be specific. But what I will tell you is that, like I said, due to economic incentive, the change will accelerate exponentially. So literally, I mean, this thing could just like blow up overnight because it's a Ponzi scheme. Literally, it doesn't matter how big it is. Look at Bernie Madoff's Ponzi scheme. What, $60 billion? That people were just like, Bernie Madoff's, he's the chairman of the NASDAQ. Been in New York for years. He's the pillar of a community. Everybody trusts him. He's returning us just steady, safe numbers, not too much, not too little, just right, like, 1% a month or something like that, 12% a year, and we're really happy with him. And the literally, his Ponzi scheme had feeder funds, and some of the feeder funds were literally solely on that because they were blagging everybody, look, you just get 1% return, 1% return, 1% return. It was a Ponzi scheme that he was just simply spending himself, and he was just simply dishing the interest out to other people and keeping a shitload for himself. But he knew it was going to come to an end. He knew it was going to come to an end. And when it came to an end, it didn't like crawl along or take a few months. It literally ended within a few hours. Boom, gone. People realized it wasn't there. That is it. That is what happens when the curtains are pulled back, and like the Wizard of Oz is exposed. They're pulling the levers. People don't realize it slowly. They realize it instantly. That is what happens. Oof. So I think CSW is signaling here. It's very exciting. Very exciting. Like calling Jack Lew a numpty, good. I'd agree with that. Everything that Jack has ever touched has turned to absolute shite. So he's got he hasn't got a leg to stand on to give an opinion on anything, I don't think. CSW's got another post here. He said that in 2015, BTC was trading approximately $250. By 2020, it had reached around $9,000, a 36-fold increase. From 2020 to 2025, it climbed to a high watermark near $60,000, representing only a 6.6-fold increase. That change in velocity isn't an accident or a pause, it's a pattern. What's happening is not exponential growth, but logistic saturation. Exponential curves don't flatten unless constrained. Logistic curves do. BTC's price growth is not a runaway function, it's bounded. The illusion of infinity ends when adoption slows, when energy costs rise, when utility fails to match the hype. Absolutely. Every economic bubble has a sigmoid curve at its core, a sharp rise, a taper, and then stagnation or collapse. The halving events were once catalysts for speculative frenzies because they tighten supply in a market still swelling with naive demand. But each halving matters less. The marginal reduction in supply becomes negligible while the proof of greater fools dries up. There's no new flood of users, only reshuffled bags and tighter hands. Yeah, because there's no use case. There is no use case in it. You're not buying it to use it. There is no need to buy it. Not many use it. Store of value, digital dog shit, all this bollocks. Like imagine if people were actually buying it to use it. The use cases would just simply continue. People would continue buying because it's the foundation layer of all future digital technology, secured and underpinned by economic principles. And when it's the foundation layer of all future digital technologies, it means that everything is going to be built on it. Everything. That's the whole point of it. And in order to build and use it, you need to buy Bitcoin. And as the growth continued, like the growth of the internet continued, literally, the value increases. Not that I want to talk about value. I say utility increases. That's probably the best one. So he says, come 2030, the market will likely reflect a plateau. Growth no longer pays because price no longer promises. The feedback loop between number go up and new retail inflows fractures. When a system relies on increasing belief to sustain its own valuation, it is not an asset, it's a story, and all stories end, just like Ponzi schemes. I just added that little bit in there myself. Yeah, what a fantastic post there from a CSW, and he goes on as there's more. I mean, I haven't really got time to read it all for a sort of 20-minute show, but epic posts there, epic posts. And Kurt Wattert Jr. has followed here. So he said here, this is crucial to understand. This is in response to CSW's post saying in 2015 BTC was trading at approximately $250. So Kurt said here, this is crucial to understand. It's more capital intensive to grow as things grow more. Price of BTC, if it absorbs gold's $13 to $14 trillion market cap, would be 685 to 725k per coin. Percentage growth from $100,000 is 585%. So you get a 5 to 6x move from here in an absolutely unprecedented flippening of gold scenario. To make that much as a percentage, you only need BSV to go to like 200 to 250 per coin. That would only take $4 billion incoming in the global market to buy BSV. Yeah. But again, the $4 billion market cap is actually calculated on the 24-hour trade volume. So actually, you wouldn't really even need that much at all, really. When you actually understand the supply side economics of Bitcoin here, and you realize what we're looking at, literally there is hardly any supply. Literally there is hardly anything. Like literally this is absolutely primed and it's purposely been manufactured that way. Like literally all the way for the last 5 years. You know, we've had the cabal trying to suppress it, get rid of it, and do all that kind of stuff. They're literally just expanding the elastic band or the spring, you know, or the string on the bow is being pulled back further and further and further. And every time it goes back, you know, there's more demand behind it to pull it forward. You know, it's crazy what we're looking at. I mean, in my mind, I can understand why people can't see my point of view, because even I'm just like, this could be absolutely nuts, but I can kind of feel it because I can see it. I can literally see it. I mean, sometimes I have to pinch myself to say that I can't believe it, but I can't. That's only because I can't believe what I'm seeing. But then, if you know the history of what's gone on over these last, 8 years, then you can actually see it. But it's unprecedented because people are just like, it's never happened before. This is literally potentially the start of the greatest bull run in history ever, because Bitcoin is the most valuable commodity on earth. Literally, when people realize this, like, whoa, and you're going to be using it for everything. Literally, all your social media requirements, financial transactions, telephone calls, HD streaming, like you name it. It can be used for everything because you own and control your own digital content. It can't be data scraped or anything like that. It's phenomenal. CSW continues here. Another post about Tom Lee. And again, I spoke to Tom Lee. What is going on with his hair there? So CSW says Tom Lee's back with another prophecy, dragging his cracked crystal ball out from whatever Wall Street broom closet he keeps it in, claiming BTC is going to $1.5 million by 2035. You'd have to be huffing helium and licking the back of a frog to swallow this kind of fantasy and still call yourself an analyst. This isn't analyst, it's a seance with Bloomberg Terminal. Let's put this on the table like a sloppy bar napkin after 10 drinks. This man is selling hopium like by the kilo. 1.5 million. What's next? Will BTC cure erectile dysfunction and make your dog speak Mandarin in 10 years? A coin that barely wheezes out 4 transactions a second and needs a small nation's energy budget to keep a spreadsheet alive? Yes, that's all pretend that makes sense. Oh, let's all pretend that makes sense. The halving cuts minor rewards in half again and again. It's like amputating your limbs one joint at a time and expecting to sprint faster. The return curve already flattening. The return curve's already flattening harder than Lee's credibility, and he's still clapping for it like a seal that's been bribed with fish oil. This isn't the rise of digital gold standard. This is the slow molasses, thick stagnation of a product that was never built to scale, but marketed like it could float you to Mars. Here's the real kicker. BTC at $1.5 million means one of two things. Either inflation's gone Mad Max and your cup of coffee costs $600, or we've entered a collective psychotic break where people mistake religious favour for investment strategy. Neither ends well. So sure, Tom, keep tossing darts at the moon with your Wall Street buzzwords and your TED Talk hairdo, but some of us are watching the market like grown adults with hangovers, jaundiced eyes, and the full understanding that your imaginary rocket ship is missing a launch pad, a fuel tank, and oh yes, physics. Oh dear. Brilliant. CSW absolutely on fire. Loving that, and I agree with everything. Absolutely agree with everything. Right, 19 minutes gone already, so let's just have a listen to this douchebag. Here we go.
So here's what we're going to do with Midnight, launching soon. We're going to do a token drop, airdrop, called Glacier Drop.
Called Glacier Drop. Give me a shit. Give me a... what did I say there? Give me a break. It's kind of like what I meant. Glacier Drop. Airdrop, Glacier Drop.
We're going to do a token drop, airdrop, called Glacier Drop, brand new distribution mechanism.
Brand new distribution mechanism. What a load of shite.
And if you hold Bitcoin, Ether, Cardano, XRP, if you hold Avalanche, BNB, if you hold Brave, because we like the bats people, you hold any of these ecosystems,
Ecosystems. What an effing joke calling it ecosystems. They're literally bits of bullshit NFT data.
you already have it. Congratulations.
I mean, literally, they're just trying to keep the masses involved in shitcoins, and now they're like trying to. Oh, it's like Shitcoin United, is what he's doing there. Oh yeah, so if you hold all these shitcoins, if you spread your risk in the market and you hold all these coins, congratulations, you're now going to get this new airdrop, glacier drop, new distribution mechanism. What an absolute load of shite.
For free. Just airdrop it to 37 million accounts.
And all these douchebags, they love it for free, but they need your details in order to get it to you. Oh, slow applause there from the crowd. Look at him like just fumbling along the stage. Honestly, like hubris is just off the charts.
And you can do whatever the hell you want to do with it. You can ignore it and put it in the corner like a lonely dog. You can sell it. You can burn it. You can say, I really hate that Charles Hoskinson guy, so...
Yeah, because he just saved you. He gave you Glacier Drop for free with all your shitcoins. Congratulations, you already had it. You got all the shitcoins. Now you got more. So what we're trying to do is incentivize you to keep hodling your shitcoins.
I'm just going to find a way to weaponize it against them. I don't give a shit. It's yours. It's your property. Anybody can take it. And what?
It's yours, it's your property, anybody can take it. Oh, that's right. It's yours, it's your property. It's all on these centralized platforms that we control. Yeah, all right.
This is going to do is it's going to bring the entire industry together. It's going to bring all the people together. And it's going to give them a new way of thinking about things.
Talking absolute drivel there.
The other magical part of it is the dual tokenomics model that we have.
Dual tokenomics model. Just bullshit babble.
The idea of having a token and a capacity unit, which means that...
Token and a capacity unit. Give me a break.
You can pay in any asset you want. And just works.
It just works. Honestly, no explanation required. It just works. What an absolute joke. What an absolute joke. Anyway, some 365 days of Bitcoin history. It's now the 18th of May. So literally we've got here today, 18th of May 2010 was a discussion of the offer to buy pizza. This is on a Bitcoin Talk. Here we go, read pizza. So discussions about this offer to buy pizza. So 18th of May, this is a response to it. He says, I'll pay 10,000 Bitcoins for a couple of pizzas, like maybe 2 large ones, so I have some left over for the next day. I like having leftover pizza to nibble on later. You can make the pizza yourself and bring it to my house, or order it for me, from a delivery place. But what I'm aiming for is getting food delivered in exchange for Bitcoins where I don't have to order or prepare it myself. Think kind of like ordering a breakfast platter at a hotel or something. They just bring you something to eat and you're happy. I like things like onions, peppers, sausages, mushrooms, tomatoes, pepperoni, etc. Just standard stuff, no weird fish toppings or anything like that. I also like regular cheese pizzas, which may be cheaper to prepare or otherwise acquire. If you're interested, please let me know and we can work out a deal, Laszlo. And that was on the 18th of May 2010. Awesome. Somebody said, which country do you live? He's given his address here, Jacksonville, Florida, and the zip code United States. Oh, and look at that. The Bitcoin wallet address there starts with a number 1. It continues 10,000 Bitcoin. That's quite a bit. You could sell those on bitcoinmarket.com for 41 USD right now. Good luck on getting your free pizza. It continues here saying, I'd like to buy Domino's for you if I knew how to pay from Europe. Like, how is Domino's Pizza in the United States going to receive my payment? Credit cards? He said, a lot of pizza places have online ordering. My wife and I use that sometimes with Papa John's. Almost all of them will accept credit cards by phone as well. And then it went on to the next day. Anyone know of any pizza eating hairdressers? Awesome. So that's what happened on the 18th of May in 2010. Discussions about this first real world value. The first time that Bitcoins had ever been exchanged for a real world item, which were these 2 Papa John's pizzas. I can't remember the name of the guy that got the 10,000 bitcoins. Jeremy Sturdivant, I think his name was. Yeah, amazing, amazing. Right, there we go. That's a 25-minute show. We'll leave it there. Hope you enjoyed it. So as ever, if you enjoy these updates, please ding your donations for your appreciation to either Satoshi at Senbit.com, handcash.io, rockwallet.me, simply.cash, relasia.com or senti.ch. We'll leave it there. Hope you enjoyed it. And as ever, be away, take care, stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one.
2 years ago, you got SegWit, which we lied and cheated and stealed, and I was part of the lying and cheating and stealing to get SegWit, to get Lightning, which, by the way, had critical vulnerabilities and lost people's money.
The king still has one more move.